Let's now take you back to Koster. Itumeleng Kgajane is standing by. Itumeleng, as we anticipate that address, the main national address by President Cyril Ramaphosa, what has been happening so far?
Good morning to you, Desiree, and to our viewers. Indeed, when one has to talk about the story of Koster, of the greater Kgetleng River Local Municipality, one has to also refer a little bit back to the situation that happened in 2020 and into 2021. We saw in January last year the court ordering the Kgetleng River Local Municipality to hand over the running of the water treatment plant just behind us here, and as well as the sewage plant here in Koster to the Ratepayers Association, also known as the Concerned Kgetleng River Local Municipality residents. And we saw for the better part of last year, those plants being run by the Ratepayers Association, because they had argued in court that the local municipality did not have the requisite skills to run those plants. And the court said until such a time that the local municipality would have secured the services of a water service board, these plants must be run by the Ratepayers Association. And from between January and May last year, these plants were run by the Ratepayers Association because they were complaining about recurring water cuts and sewage flowing on the streets of Reagile, on the streets of different parts of Koster or different parts of the Kgetleng River Local Municipality. But that is one of the issues that this led to the community in this municipality saying that they are being deprived of their human rights, especially access to basic services such as water. But today we've asked the chairperson of the Kgetleng River Concerned Residents, Mr. Karel van Heerden, to be part of this conversation with us. Mr. van Heerden, you ran these plants last year. What was the situation like? You've now handed them back to the local municipality and they are run by the Magalies Water Board. How is the situation now, and how was the situation before you took over?
Good morning. Yes, last year in May, the court told us to give back the water plants and the sewage plants to the municipality because they've appointed Magalies Water to run the plants as per court order. And after about 3 days, there were no water in Koster again. So, and also the sewage plants has been dilapidated again within a week or two weeks. So the big problem is that the sewage plant is not working, and it's not working at this stage. The water, we were without water for 35 days. The water just came on last Saturday, I think, for the first time. And that is a human crisis, because if you don't have water, the sewage can't flow, and suddenly you do have a lot of water coming through the pipes, and everything is running now through the Koster Spruit towards the Koster Dam, and that footage is available to you people.
So basically, currently, you're still not happy with the provision of water and sanitation services?
You're quite right. It's a long way to go because the Magalies didn't have the skills to run the water plants, even in Swartruggens also. We fixed that plants in Swartruggens also at the cost of 5.2 million, and there's nobody there except for security people. That plant is not working, and that footage is also available.
And now that the Human Rights Day commemorations are held here in Koster, what would you really like to hear the President talking to, and probably also instructing the local municipality to provide services? What exactly would you like to hear from the President?
We would like to have a MOU with the municipality so that the community, like the Koster residents in Reagile and in Koster, can take hands and take the plants over, because we've got the knowledge, we've got the skills to run the plants. Because when we started fixing the plants for nearly 6 months, there was 24/7 water in Koster. The sewage plants both on Swartruggas and Koster were in 100% condition when we handed over to the municipality. But now it's totally dilapidated. There's no electricity at the sewage plant, and the water is flowing into the Koster Spruiter. So there's a big problem, and nothing has happened. Even we are back to square one as we were on the 18th of December 2020 when we were granted the urgent interdict against the municipality.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time, and thank you very much for speaking to us. So that is Mr. Karel van Heerden. He's the chairperson of the Ratepayers Association here in the Kgetleng River Local Municipality. He's indicated that they are not happy with the situation, how the situation is now, because they believe that there's still a problem with water provision and sanitation services. But we are now joined also by the municipal manager of the Kgetleng River Local Municipality, Ntate Ramokata. Yes. Say, how's the situation? Why is it that even today we're still having that kind of a situation as indicated by Mr. van Heerden?
No. I think from the onset, one needs to appreciate the assistance that we got from the Minister Mchunu came into the play. The Minister, the MEC, through his team led by Mr. Ramokata, they were quite assistful in terms of assisting the municipality. You'll recall, as the Mr. van Heerden has said, we had Mahalis who had to come on board as a result of the court order. And then I must emphasize that Mahalis has also been assistful. If you go through our plants, you'll see that there are standby generators that have been provided by Mahalis. So obviously there has been progress in regard to that. So it can also not be true that since the municipality took over, of course in collaboration with Mahalis, there hasn't been any progress. I must say that as the municipality, we are proud to announce that we were able to provide services. Yes, in instances where we have load shedding, that would actually affect the provision of water, which of course we accept. But as a municipality, what we managed to do was actually to make sure that we provide water tankers in all strategic places so that our communities are able to receive water. And then I've also heard that he speaks of the sewer that is spilling, which of course we accept as a municipality, but we are saying that in fact the load shedding that has been there also affected the running of our sewer plant, and that of course will have an effect on the operation of the plant as well.
What's the work of the standby generators in this instance? Because if you have standby generators, then why should we blame load shedding?
For sure. I mean, that's a good question. The standby generators have not been long been delivered in our municipality. I think I'm talking about 3 weeks, but the period before that, that was actually the situation that I've just explained, to say that in instances where there is load shedding, obviously that will have an impact on the water as well as the sewer. But as we talk today, the standby pumps are actually operational.
I suppose you would agree with me when I say if people have problem with water provision and sanitation services, that's more like depriving them of their human rights. What have you learned as the municipality from this? And what's your commitment to the people of Kgetleng River to say you will not have a situation where they have water cuts for about 2 weeks anymore?
No. You are quite right. I mean, that has got an effect on their basic rights, which of course as a municipality we are quite I would say apologize, which of course we have done, to say that we are not able to provide our municipality, the community, with water for a period of a week or so. But in that instance, that was as a result of a pump that had actually bent, and then given the sophistication of those pumps, we are not able to actually procure them. But since I've indicated that in those instances where we're not able able to provide water either through the bent pipes. What we do is to make sure that water tankers are there. There is quite a lot that we have learned as a municipality, and just to ensure that at all times the interests of the communities are actually put before us. It's for that reason that our mayor has all gone out to ensure that every department comes on board in assisting us to ensure that service delivery is not compromised.
Thank you very much, sir. So Desiree, that's the situation here in Koster. As indicated before, this is one of, I think this is one of those instances where you had private hands running the affairs of government. In this instance, we saw the Ratepayers Association running the water treatment and sewage plants in Koster, but in the Kgetleng River Local Municipality rather. But as indicated there is a commitment from the local municipality that will never happen again. It's back to you in studio.
On all of those different conversations we're going to be having today, but just to give you a background of where the national celebrations are taking place, Koster is a small farming town situated on the watershed between the Orange and Limpopo rivers. The town was proclaimed in 1913 and named after Bastian Koster, the original farm owner. It's situated between the Rustenburg and the Magaliesberg. It's one of those Irene situations. It has been administered by a village council since January 1931. The Elands Rivier, the Koster River and the Mooi Rivier have their sources near the town, although water is a scarce resource. We'll continue telling you about that town and also just breaking down the different human rights and reminding you of that question we have for the day. Do you fully understand your human rights and which ones are more important to you? Let us know at the agenda _SABC.